Hey there, guys. So before we start, something that Mark and I actually decided between recording this episode and putting it out there, we've decided on our next commentary track, which will be available on Bandcamp, and it's going to be for The Greatest Showman. Um, I threw it out there with Mark. I knew he liked The Greatest Showman, so I knew really like top 10 at the end of the year liked it. And I've been very interested in a rewatch of it, and I thought it would be interesting. And it's a film that I didn't get on with all that much, but he really did, and to have a discussion about that, I thought it would make quite an interesting commentary track. And who knows, maybe one of us will change our minds or something upon rewatch. Well, we shall see. So we're recording that on Sunday. As I record this, that's the 6th, and I'm aiming to have it out on Sunday as well. So that will be on the Bandcamp feed, which also has the Neon Demon commentary track for anyone who wasn't a patron when the Patreon ended. That's available as well. The tracks are just £1 each. Or is it $1? It's £1 or $1. Apologies. I'm pretty. Actually, fuck it. I can't remember. So it's not all that much. It does help support the show, and it gives you some additional content, but you don't have to pay for it. But it would help with the running of the show, with the upkeep and whatnot. It genuinely would. Not trying to like put a fucking pauper's hat on or anything like that, but to be able to do each show every week, it does cost money, for the storage space, and so there you go. But you also get something out of it. So that is Dude and a Monkey. So Dude and a Monkey all spelt out .bandcamp.com. The Neon Demon is already up there, and The Greatest Showman will be joining it very soon. But now here's your regularly scheduled Avengers Infinity War Jamboree. Enjoy.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, welcome to episode 254 of Dude and a Monkey. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Ian Loring. Hello.
And as we are covering a comic book movie, we have our comic book correspondent in the house. Say hello to the people.
Is this a comic book movie?
I think so.
Oh, okay, yeah, hello, Noel Mellor. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm eating a peanut. I just realised that I'm eating a peanut and I'm supposed to be talking. So, what do we have this week? We have the much anticipated, the culmination of 10 years worth of work, and we are bringing you Adam Sandler and Chris Rock's The Week of.
Yeah.
It's all been building to this.
Yeah, some Netflix film about a guy's new jewellery. We'll also chat some trailers. We might get to what we've been watching. I'm going to say we might get to that because I think The Week of might take up quite a lot of our time.
So it already did.
It already fucking, yeah, well, Jesus fuck.
He makes a fair point.
He does indeed. So, I'm going to swallow this peanut. I've been eating.
Do you want to be the host, Mark? Because you're doing such a marvellously professional job at this point.
I know I am, yes.
I've got a bit of a fucking stick up my arse about Mark at the moment, to be honest, after last night.
Yes, yeah.
No, you might not know what this is about. All I'm going to say is the latest YouTube video on Dude and the Monkey, on the Dude and the Monkey YouTube. Just check out like the last 10 minutes or so of us playing A Way Out last night.
Ian gets quite angry with me.
I get kind of silent angry, kind of.
Is this the game where Mark's cooler than you as well?
Yeah, it is.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and he's definitely cooler than me. He's definitely fucking cooler than me.
So, yes, guys, if you want to watch that and see what we're talking about, there are 2 episodes sorted in it about 2 hours and 10 minutes or something like that so far, of me and Ian playing A Way Out. The second part of it, I actually have bought a mic so you can actually hear me, and I can hear what's going on as well. So, guys, has anything happened in the movie world that isn't related to the films we're going to talk about? No, is the answer. Oh, no, wait. A lady was ejected from BFI, but we don't need to talk about that, do we?
I wouldn't mind, actually, because I don't know what this is. I saw Ian tweet about it, but I didn't catch the story. What happened?
Well, okay. Ian, I'll let you go over it.
Okay, so basically, there was a repertory showing of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And it's this a lady's favourite film. And she was watching it, and apparently... So she's got Asperger's, and she was laughing quite loudly.
Big Asperger's.
Sorry?
Big Asperger's?
A massive Asperger's. No. Let's not do this.
Sorry.
So, yeah, like...
It's just the way you said it, that's all.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I don't say Pokemon Honsu, so that's something.
It's Digimon Honsu.
Yeah, alright, sorry, yeah, I mispronounced it.
Pokemon Honsu's lesser brother.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, very good. So, no, that's cool. Basically, during the funny bits, she was laughing quite loudly, and a couple of audience members got quite shitty about it, didn't seem to realise, hang on a second, this person's laughing quite loudly at bits that are supposed to be funny. Maybe she's really, really into it, and maybe we shouldn't call her a fucking bitch, that apparently this one guy called her. Or shut the fuck up, you bitch, or something like that.
Yeah, that was it.
But anyway, management got involved. Well, the duty manager on that night got involved and ended up apparently rather forcibly dragging her out or having her drug out. And eventually the guy who swore at her also got kicked out, but quite a bit of the time after. Now, and then it blew up on Twitter, and The Guardian reported on it. It became actually like a major news piece yesterday in probably more left-wing media. I can't imagine The Sun had much to say about it, I would say.
No.
So, the issue that I have here is people seem to be having a go at the BFI about it. What I would say is, I don't think any cinema chain in the country gives their management or their duty manager just in charge that night. I don't think they would give them specific training in how to deal with situations like that. And to be fair, I'm not entirely sure many kind of leisure areas would have training like that. I don't think that's just a cinema problem. I kind of think, yeah, it is awful what happened to her, and the BFI have been very apologetic, and people have been saying, why don't you give her a free private screening? Yeah, cool, fair enough. I think, yes, handling people with difficulties like that, absolutely, perfect world, should be trained out all the time in all walks of life. It really should be. My employer has a vulnerable customers training program that we do try and educate people as to what are the kinds of things we should be looking out for and how we should help those people appropriately. But to just have a go at the BFI in a tweet storm is not the right way of going about it. And I bet that duty manager felt like shit after that. And the woman, there were no winners in this situation. And I think maybe it would behoove people to remember that.
Well, I had a strange one weirdly in my screening of Infinity War, in the sense that, because for a start off, right, if somebody is laughing at the amusing points, no matter how hard they're laughing at an appropriate point, so what the fuck is people's problem?
Yes.
Now, I always refer people back to, with stuff like that, is when I went to see Ghostbusters, there was 2 full rows of people who were differently abled, may be the most appropriate way to describe them. Mm-hmm. And every time the Ghostbusters theme came on, which is quite a lot during that movie, because it's a Ghostbusters movie, they started humming it, putting their hands up and swaying along. And I thought, that's quite distracting, quite annoying. However, is it actually annoying, or is it two full rows of people enjoying a movie on a Tuesday afternoon? So they're not disrupting me. If I said anything or suffed or sighed or anything like that, I'm disrupting their good time. So what I should do is just have fun with it and go, do you know what? That's quite a lot of fun. I'm fine with that, right? During Infinity War, though, there was a kid. What sounded like, and everybody around us thought it was a baby, that some motherfucker had brought a baby into the screening. And was crying and was, like, screaming. Quite a lot during it. And it was getting a little bit annoying. And it's not the baby's fault, just to point that out, because obviously it's the person who's brought in. You know, there are screenings for babies and things like that, you know, parent and child screenings and things like that. And so it was a little bit annoying, but you can't really say anything because it's not the baby's fault. And the guy, for the first few times, it's like, right, the guy's probably more embarrassed than anybody else that's around here, anything like that. After about an hour and a half, getting close to 2 hours, the kid was making quite a lot of noise, and the guy decided to, do you know what, this is it, it's time to go. And I turned around and I just had a look, because I could hear quite a lot of shuffling, and thought, right, is he going? And it wasn't a baby. It was a kid that was about 5. So clearly, the kid had problems, we'll say. I thought, do you know what? Can you imagine being the person walking up to that? Would have been walking up sort of to say to the guy, look, I think you need to take your baby out. And then getting there and going, oh, that's not a fucking baby.
See, this is the thing. I've been in that position before where you go to it because, you know, I don't like being bothered when I'm watching a film. That is why I've always said, give me universal release dates, give me Netflix, give me Amazon Prime. I'll happily watch this. I'll watch everything at home. I don't care. But at the same time, I've been in the cinema when that exact thing's happened, and it's been more than once where you hear some commotion or some voices or some laughing or some some chatting or something like that, and your immediate reaction is, the fuck, am I going to have to listen to that? And then you realise, okay, it's that kind of situation. So I can see how something like this has happened, and it's just a horrible situation all round. But why are we dwelling on it now? Why isn't everybody just going, all right, this is a horrible situation. Nobody came out of it well. Training is required. People also need to chill the fuck out, and let's all learn from this. Like, it's not a situation to shout at either side, really, is it?
No, it's more an unfortunate situation. The thing is, I've been in the position where I've gone up to people and told them to shut the fuck up. But it's people who are, it's usually people, actually, majority not shut the fuck up. It's usually people who are chatting on their phone, or people who are using their phone. And I have no problem going up to somebody and saying, if they're using their phone in the cinema, and saying, put your phone away or fuck off. And I have no problem with doing that. But if somebody was laughing, no matter how fucking hard they were laughing at the funny moments, I'd be like, yeah, that person's got a very loud laugh, haven't they? They are really laughing at this fucking movie. Yeah. And it might be annoying, but then again, that's them laughing at the movie. I remember laughing my fucking arse off at a point during Filth that nobody else found amusing at all. And I was laughing hard. And I have a feeling that everyone was thinking, why is this prick laughing? This isn't funny. And I found it really fucking funny.
The other thing to point out as well is, did you say this was the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Yeah.
See, now, if I'm in a cinema, I'm generally watching a film for the first time, 99.9% of the time. Now, that can be troublesome if you do have a disruptive cinema. But if I'm going to see something for maybe the second time or the third time or whatever, I'm way less bothered about that type of thing. This is a film that's 50 years old, and I would imagine that anybody who's seeing it there is seeing it because they're a huge fan of it and has probably seen it at least once before. So if somebody's having fun and laughing at the points that they're supposed to be laughing at,
Go with it.
No, let's just go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolute agreement. Yeah.
Or just just go home and pick up the Blu-ray on the way. It'll probably cost you $5.
Yeah. Another two strange things from my cinema going experience. One was when I went to pay. I paid on I always pay Apple Pay, and it came up with give me a receipt on my phone. But then they went off to make my coffee, came back and said, "Oh, that's $15.96." I was like, "Right, well, I have just paid. It's come up as a receipt on my phone." And then one of the girls from the other counter said, "Oh yeah, mine does that all the time. It comes up on your phone and say it's been paid, but it's actually not." And I was like,
"Oh,
right,
fuck you."
Oh no, gets better. I was like, right, well, I've been using Apple Pay for like 2 and a bit years, and that's never happened. She's like, "Oh, it happens to me all the time." And I was like, right, but it's never happened to me, and I've got a receipt here. I've got a receipt here to say that I've paid, so maybe the fault is with your system, not with my phone. I'm quite well in my rights to pose that question to you.
Yeah.
Because I paid, it disappeared off here, then you came back, pressed something, and it came up again. So I'm just pointing out the fact that I won't be happy if I have to come back and say you charged me twice. He said, right, well, yeah, but it does sometimes. Not the girl who's serving me, the other girl. I was like, right, that's fine, but I'm just saying, can you check to see if it's that? And she went, right, well, no, it isn't. She thought, it's like, I'm sorry, are you now actually having a fucking argument with me?
Yeah.
And she just went, well, it's just, it hasn't gone through our system. I know that. Like, right.
How?
I said, right, I suggest shut up before I get the manager to come over and have a sort of, we'll resolve this that way.
Who do you bank with?
HSBC.
All right, okay, because I bank with.
And I've not checked it to see if it's gone through yet. But if it is, I'll be going.
Say, I would have checked my internet banking straight away because Halifax is very good at showing you payments literally just gone through.
Yeah,
HSBC can take days for Apple payments to show.
Right. Okay.
What I would do, right, if you pay for it on Apple Pay in your Apple Wallet.
Yeah, I did a shoulder it.
Does it not come up with the last transaction? Like if I click on my Amex, it tells me my last transaction was £3.39 8 hours ago.
Yep, showed her it, and she was like, "Yeah, mine does that all the time." I was like, "Right, well, mine's never done it." Yep. So that was a bad experience, right? Then I get into the actual screening, and the fire exit sign is just flashing. It's not on; it's just flashing and blinking and flashing. So I said to Bex, if when the trailers start that's still going, I'm going to have to go and say something. Right, all right then. So I went up to somebody and just said, the fire exit sign is blinking like a motherfucker in there, and I don't want that to still be blinking when the movie starts. And she went, all right, I'll go and speak to the manager. Literally a minute later, it's fucking off.
Yeah, there you go.
It's off. And I thought, right, you've pissed me off. And you've won me back.
Yeah.
I'm fine with you again. My levels have gone back down.
I don't know. It's that experience has been ruined for that woman, and I wonder how much she's liking all the attention she's now getting because of this as well. You know, like I'm sure she's. You know, I don't know. Like I'm quite a socially nervous person, and I would fucking hate that because all it's gonna be is people you know fucking every single time. Like the first time you see someone after this, it's going to be like, oh, I heard about that, blah, 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 blah. It's like when I shave my fucking head and then every single motherfucker has to say, oh, you shaved your head. Yeah. Do you know what? No, I just woke up this morning, all my fucking hair was gone. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's incredible, you know. Or like today, and I was back in work after the marathon, and and bless them, of course the people are going to ask, but it just like I'm just being a dick here. But the amount of people who ask me how my legs were today, it's just like how the fuck do you think they are? How do you think they are? I mean, bless you for asking. I did 26 miles on Sunday. They're fucked. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
Thank you to all the people who donated for charity, by the way. Fantastic, you know. But those people, I don't mind asking how my legs were. Anyone who didn't donate can just shut the fuck up. No, I'm joking.
The thing is this type of thing, you just got to put up with these types of things because it's like when you get married and then the first time you see anybody after the wedding, every single person that meets you says, "How's married life treating you?" Or when you return from paternity leave and you have to tell the labour story like 100 times, and you're like, thank you for asking. It's great that you care, but please don't make me tell this story again.
I put it on Twitter. Just go on there.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I've released a statement through my Facebook. I refer you to that.
Yeah. If you're not my friend on Facebook, then I really don't give a shit if you know.
Oh, that's funny.
So, trailers. What have we watched this week?
Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp looks fun.
It does look fun, doesn't it?
Really does, yeah. It's perfect timing, isn't it? Really, I think. As well. I did just tweet this, so yeah. But it feels like after the film we're just about to talk about, what we really need is a bit of a caper, a bit of a sort of low stakes, fun caper with characters that we've not seen for a while. So it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing to drop the actual trailer as well, just to make people feel like they're getting something new and different and shiny. And there's no sort of what did James Cameron call it? Avengers fatigue.
Fucking hell, God.
Looks fun.
That fucking prick who's banging on about fucking 3 sequels to movies that he's not made yet, to a movie that really nobody gives a shit about anymore.
While also trying to get people excited about Terminator 7, is it? Or 6? 7? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? If you want to get people excited about that, just say directing it. That'll get people more excited about it rather than you're producing it, but you're still going to give us Avatar 2, 3, and 4. Nobody wants them. It's the world has moved beyond the Avatar movies. Thank fuck.
I mean, even like with Terminator 3, I've had Terminator fatigue for like 15 years now. So,
the prospect of having to watch another Avatar film, I don't think I can do it.
I honestly don't think I will. Like, I genuinely don't think I will.
I wouldn't, because I'm not watching the first one again.
I was just going to say, especially if it requires that I rewatch the fucking first one.
Weirdly, I've never actually watched the first in one sitting. I've watched it over like a few months, and I've seen it all, but always in like a little, like an hour block there, and a 30-minute block there, and a 90-minute block there, and another 12-minute block there. I've seen it like that. No, I do you know what? I didn't, because I thought,
how did you mess it?
Yeah, that's quite something. That
because you're the guy who didn't go.
Do you know what? I thought, I don't want to see it. It doesn't look very good. It's not my type of movie. I just don't care. And I thought, all these people who are I see at the moment saying that they've been to see it 3 times even though they don't like it. It's like, right, you're going to be the reason why we get a fucking sequel. So I'm not going to go and see it, because you've been to see it twice for me anyway. So I just didn't bother.
Oh.
It's not... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, it's not even... I'll be honest, it's not even a film that I disliked particularly at the time. I think I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, you fuckers did.
No, I did. I enjoyed it. Like, as a pure... I mean, I watched it in IMAX. I think I watched it in 3D IMAX. And I think as a roller coaster sort of popcorn blockbuster, I think I enjoyed it, but I completely forgot about it afterwards. And in hindsight, there's really nothing there to go back for. And I don't just mean that one film, I mean that entire universe, really. So, I don't know, it's James Cameron. He is a good director, but he's not the greatest storyteller in the world. And I do have to wonder how he's going to get another... Is it 4 films that he's planning?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Well, anyway, how did we get to James Cameron?
Ant-Man and the Wasp. The timing of releasing it after the opening weekend for Infinity War was a really good idea, and that made perfect sense. in terms of the timing for that. But yeah, like you say, it does look a little bit more low stakes than Infinity War, and that nice little, like you say, a little bit more madcap. It'll be under 2 hours long, and it'll be quite quick.
And I think they've. I'd forgotten that the trailer was coming today, and I was thinking about Avengers: Infinity War, as I have been doing quite a lot this week. And I had a bit of a theory about where it's going to fit in as well.
I like this.
Yeah, so I reckon, and I did genuinely tweet this before I'd seen the trailer. So my theory is that Ant-Man and the Wasp, we know it takes place after Civil War. We know that it's taking place before Avengers: Infinity War because it can't take place after it, because obviously there would be other things going on. So I would say that the last act of Ant-Man and the Wasp will be Ant-Man and the Wasp in the quantum realm, whether they're trying to save Janet Van Dyne or that there's some other reason for them being in there. They'll come out of the quantum realm, and while they've been in there, Infinity War will have been happening, and they'll come out into a sort of post-Infinity War world. Obviously, they'll be safe. Neither of them. Oh, I won't say anything about that. They'll come out of the quantum realm, and then somebody like Hawkeye will probably rock up to them and say, right, we need to get you involved. The universe needs your help, that type of thing. So it's nice that they've planned this so that they can just squeeze it in that little slot that sort of, yeah, it's after Civil War and it's before Infinity War, but it's going to link up and it's going to allow Ant-Man and the Wasp to appear in Avengers 4 and help out and get involved.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Nice.
Cool. Anything else anyone saw trailer-wise?
Nope.
Venom?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The old Dick Mouth himself.
Yeah. I think this looks fun.
I do.
I'm up for this.
I'm into it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more confident now than I was after the last one.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little bit kind of like dark, but in almost like a childish way, kind of dark. It looks like a mid-90s film.
Yeah. First of all, Venom's in it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Because it was looking like he might not be for a while.
Yeah, so I'm very much up for it. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
I'm expecting a lovely soundtrack thing featuring the likes of Limp Bizkit, Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, maybe fucking Metallica
Pantera.
doing a cover of fucking Smoke on the Water or something. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll get Pantera doing Smith.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That.
Yeah, definitely into it. But no, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's the same thing again because obviously we've had Infinity War, which is big blockbuster cataclysmic thing. We're getting Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is going to be fun caper heist thing. We're getting Deadpool 2, which is going to be Deadpool 2. So it's going to be that again. So this, again, it feels like something else we're getting. It feels like another, it's taking itself a little bit seriously, probably, but I'm all right with that. It feels a lot more Marvel Netflix universe than it does Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yeah, fine. I'm into it.
Good stuff.
Cool. Right. Shall we get onto it?
Why not?
Let's do this. Right. Avengers Infinity War.
I thought you were going to say the other one. All right, go on.
Yeah, I was tempted, but I thought I won't be frick. It is directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, and stars just fucking loads of people. You know it stars, so don't fucking ask me. Yeah, it's about Thanos and the big purple dude, and he's trying to get all of the Infinity Stones. And various sets of Avengers, Guardians, and other folks are off doing different bits in different places, trying to stop him from doing it. we are all spoilers all of the time. So if you are one of the people who's not seen this yet, then obviously fast forward. If you are a spoiler film, etc. Go on, Noel. You can go first, since you are our comic book correspondent. And can I just point out that this movie came out on Thursday. We are recording on Tuesday. And how many times have you seen this, Noel?
2.5.
Two and a half?
Yeah. Yeah. I won't go into detail, but yeah, 2.5.
Okay, right. No, go.
I really liked it. I'm delighted to say that I really liked it. It's, I think my first watch, I liked it, but there was something bothering me about it that we'll get into. And I think I left the cinema not disappointed, but I think I left the cinema like just thinking about stuff quite a lot and thinking, oh shit, I'm not sure if that's what I wanted. I'm not sure if that's what I was after. I think, the specific thing that I wanted to happen didn't quite happen. And actually what I've got is something that is different and is looking at the direction of this story in a different way than I was expecting. So I think I left the cinema the first time sort of just thinking about it and not quite sure if I was as fully happy with it as I might have been. And then I took a bit more time to think about it, and again, for reasons I'll get into it shortly, I sort of went, no, actually, this works for me a lot, and I like it. Second viewing, without that horrible pressure that I always put on these movies when I see them, second viewing was just magnificent. I really, really liked it on the second viewing. Knowing what was coming and knowing what to look out for and knowing all of the things that I'd been thinking about after the first viewing just made it 100 times better. But yeah, I really liked it, and it's. I think the main reason I liked it is it's a film that demands discussion, which, I don't think you can say the same of Avengers: Age of Ultron, for example. So, yeah, really liked it. Really pleased with it.
Good. Ian, thoughts?
Kind of feels like it's opposites day.
Yeah.
It's very odd. I'm probably not going to talk too much through this review because I only like joy in this world. And I'm really, really glad that Noel liked it so much. I thought it was all right.
Do you know what, Ian? I would say exactly what you mean, because I would guarantee that all of the things that I had reservations about that first time are all of the reasons that you probably didn't like it, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to try and change your mind. It means that I get exactly why someone who wasn't quite as invested would not get on with it as well.
I would maybe suggest, in terms of the MCU, I would suggest I'm maybe more invested than you are, in respect of the fact that I like the films generally more than you do.
Oh, no. I love all the films. What the fuck? I do. All of the MCU films.
Does he, Mark?
You do seem a lot maybe disappointed sometimes when you come on, but maybe that's not.
Yeah,
the MCU.
no. Is it
because you build them up too much?
I build them up too much on first watch, and I always put too much pressure on them, and then I rewatch them and I go, no, I really like this. There is not even Iron Man 3 is my least favourite, and I like Iron Man 3 now. Right. So,
okay,
yeah.
All right, fair enough then. All right. Okay. Just to make sure I haven't had a stroke, you're the one who likes Justice League, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure my memory wasn't completely gone.
That's exactly it. With Justice League, I'm not as invested in the DC characters, so I put no pressure on DC movies, so I tend to enjoy them more because I'm just like, Yeah,
Right.
fuck it, whatever. It's Batman.
Okay,
So, yeah.
it's feeling a bit more like I'm actually of this planet now. Okay, that's fine. So, all right, no, I take that back then. In that case, but in terms of me being more invested, I know in terms of comics, I'm not nearly as invested as you know. I just in terms of the films, I thought I was, but I think I'm wrong there. So fair play. Okay, so my issues with it then can be in summary the stakes at the end. While I thought I really liked the Thanos sitting down smiling bit, I thought that was a fantastic way to end this part. Fantastic. Just a weird, quiet, what the fuck is going to happen now moment. But it just, you know, you've got to wait a year now to see what's going to happen. And I suppose, is it, do the Russos know that we know that these people are going to come back? But then it's the question of how is the thing that's going to keep people going for the next year. Is that it? Or do the Russos actually think that people think that Black Panther and Spider-Man are gone?
There are two types of audiences in the world, aren't there? There are us and there are normies.
Could you, but I mean, could you imagine thinking like, well, shit, that Black Panther film was good, and now there's no more Black Panther. Oh.
No, but I can't imagine voting for Brexit either. And there's half of the population of the UK
Wow.
did. So
No, all right, no, fair enough.
There are a lot of stupid people out there.
Brexit and Avengers Infinity War, there are many comparisons.
There's always a connection to Brexit.
No, absolutely. But no, I mean, the stakes I thought were just a bit like, yeah, okay. Because I know we had this discussion on WhatsApp, me and Noel, Mark, just because you hadn't seen it yet. But like, there's a couple of like the more incidental, like side people who kind of turn into Ash or whatever it is at first, and you're thinking like, oh fuck yeah, all right then, fair enough, yeah. And then Black Panther goes, and as soon as that happens, it's just like, wow.
Oh, I get what you're doing here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think 100%. I think that Noel's feelings to it that maybe he's not expressed to you, Mark, again, I apologise, but that everything pre-click is set in terms of who lives and who dies. So Loki, he's gone. Heimdall, he's gone. Gamora, she's gone. She's got Avatar sequels to film, after all. So, yeah, I 100%. And those are the characters you could get rid of. I thought it was ballsy as fucking shit that they got rid of Loki in the opening sequence. Like, that was a stall setting. So, there you go. There's that. Also, I just thought it was, who's doing what now? Okay, those people are doing that, and those people are with giant Peter Dinklage, and who's in space now? And who's in Wakanda? What are we doing? It was just a bit like there's a lot of people doing a lot of things, and I'm just about keeping up with it. And maybe that's more me than the film, but there were too many characters in this film. There were. I'm sorry, there were. And also, I will just say, we will deep fry your kebab is one of the best pieces of production design I've ever seen.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Mark, what do you think?
I really, it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Yes, it is.
It's a long ass movie. I didn't think it was. I thought it zips along at a hell of a fucking pace.
Fuck it, right? Okay, sorry. Positivity and joy. Sorry.
I did think it zips along. It felt like it was a 2.5 hour movie, but at no point did I feel it was getting baggy or it was dragging or anything like that. For me, it moved along quite well. Apart from anytime Vision's on the screen, but that's just because he's fucking boring.
Paul Bettany.
When the credits rolled, I genuinely thought to myself, "Shit, I was expecting at least another 45 minutes."
Yeah, I was I was for it. It was working for me. However, I did, and me and Ian have spoken about this before. I did sort of go right at the end of it. I enjoyed that. However, you've killed off people that are not dead, and I can get your point in saying that. Yeah, it's because we're the weirdos that know that there's going to be a Black Panther sequel in blah, and there's going to be another Spider-Man movie. But then again, Marvel don't keep these things quiet. They tell us years in advance when these movies are going to be available. And it just felt a little bit like, right, we were expecting like consequences and big, things to happen in this movie. And it's like, right, well, you killed off Idris Elba. Fine. You killed off Loki. Fine. Vision. Yeah, no one really liked Vision anyway, so that's fine. For some reason, I don't believe Gamora's dead. Or that's it for Gamora.
I've got another theory about that.
I'm not sure about that.
She's got Avatar sequels to film, Mark.
She doesn't. She's desperately trying to not film those Avatar sequels. She's gonna find somebody who looks like her and send her to film the Avatar sequel.
I think Tandy Newton's available.
Tandy Newton's probably being killed off in Westworld by now, so she needs to go and do that. I don't think that Gamora's dead. I don't. And then when it was, the thing is, if it had been like, if Cap had gone, or Tony Stark had gone, or Sky Hansen had gone, one of those characters had have gone, you've gone, oh shit. But it wasn't. It's all the ones that have got sequels. It's the new guys.
Can I jump in at that point? Because that's kind of all of the things that you've both said are exactly A, what I was expecting you to say, and B, what I walked out of the cinema marginally, pointing towards disappointment about. Because the one thing that I said about this movie in the build-up was, look, whatever happens, these deaths that are coming, they need to mean something. They have to matter. And so going into this, the question has always been, are they going to kill Stark or are they going to kill Rogers? Which one of them are they going to kill? Now, what we got at first glance appears to be a cop-out of sorts, because you go, all right, well, the main characters are alive, the big characters are alive, and they've killed off people that we know that they have to bring back. There's no way that Spider-Man's dead. There's no way that Black Panther's dead. These are all of the characters that we see evaporated are the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not the past. Now, what I've come to think more and more about in the days since that first viewing and on second viewing and stuff like that is, all right, let's say let's say at the end of this movie, Thanos had tried to get the Infinity Stones. Tony or Steve had sacrificed themselves to stop that happening, and end of Infinity War Part 1, or this two-part movie, because this, even if it's just in name only, this is kind of still a two-part thing.
Yeah.
Let's say they kill Steve at the end. Then what? So what happens then? What they've done is in a similar way to a comic book in a similar way to a long comic book arc might, is they've not thought about right, how do you kill somebody so that everybody's devastated. They've thought about, how do you give people a dramatic cliffhanger so that we can then take the story forward and think about the timeline. It's not about who you kill. It's about how you reset the universe. It's about how you reset timelines and look at. We all know that the time gem is going to be a big part of whatever comes next.
Yeah.
I also believe the Soul Stone is going to be a big part of it, and
I have a feeling that's going to be it. Yeah,
theory as well. But what they've done is they've created the first part of a long story arc. A long cataclysmic event story arc, which, is what comic book movies seem to do on a yearly basis. Is what comic books seem to do on an almost yearly basis at the moment. And they've thought about the long game in terms of devastating the Brexit audience who think that Spider-Man is dead and he's not coming back, and giving the people like us something to talk about how this is going to go next, what's going to happen next. If they'd have killed Steve Rogers, our conversation would be over. Oh shit, they killed Captain America. Yeah, I don't expect that. Oh well, I kind of did. I thought, I thought they killed Iron Man, and that'd be the end of the conversation. What they've given us is theories about how we're gonna fix all this next, and that's kind of why I've come round to going. All right, it's not what I was expecting. It's not even what I necessarily wanted, but I'm happy with it.
Do you want to know what the 3 8-year-olds that were sat behind me thought at the end of it?
Go on.
Not really.
Right? Fuck off, misery. Yeah. They said, turned around to him, one went, oh, God, I can't believe Spider-Man's dead. And then one of the other ones said, no, because they've used the time stone just before everybody gets wiped out, and they're all going to appear at Avengers Tower. I thought, right, some of that actually kind of could make sense.
Well, the first
in a roundabout way.
Time stone. Yeah,
Yeah, in the fact that I sort of thought, I'm going to continue listening to this a little bit. And the guy went, what do you mean? He went, well, one of them is going to have used the time stone to go back in time, and that isn't them all dying, it's them all being taken away before Thanos kills them. I thought, he might be onto something. It might be wrong, but he's kind of onto something there, this 8-year-old. But what I will say is the actual deaths of the characters within the movie, the ones that just disappear, are really well done, because Spider-Man and Peter Parker
is really well done.
Spider-Man and Peter Parker turning around to Tony Stark and saying, I don't want to go, I don't want to die. He doesn't know he's got a sequel. Peter Parker and the character in the movie that we're watching, and if we judge the movie, he doesn't know he's got a sequel. He thinks he's dying, and it was really well done. And Tony looking at it and going, I don't know what to do. And that it's that fragility of, for once, he doesn't know what to do. He can't solve it with intelligence or bravado. He's just got to hold this kid who he's pretending that he has an ambivalent feeling towards, but actually really cares for. He's got the whole let's have a kid thing. We should maybe have a kid thing. So that's because he's formed this this affinity with this kid, and he's kind of gone, well, actually, I could be a dad, because look what I'm doing for this kid. And then he's dying in his arms was quite horrible. And I will say, in terms of and what you were saying was right, Noel, there was the idea of, right, in this movie, you've got to get rid of Cap or Tony Stark. You've got to get rid of one of them. And I was thinking it's going to be Cap, because I just think with the Tony Stark one, I don't think they're going to kill him off. I think they're going to keep him as the background and the essentially the new Nick Fury, despite the fact that
he's future director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've been saying that for since Iron Man 2, I think.
They're going to kill off Cap, and Chris Evans has actually come out and said that these are going to be his last outings. There won't be another Cap movie.
The thing is, his arc is pretty much done as well.
It is, yeah. But when Tony Stark, you thought he was dead, and it was that moment, I was sat there going, oh shit, I kind of don't want that to happen, because he's Tony Stark, and he's been with it from the start, and that feels major. And then I thought, right, this is the moment where Thanos is going to kill Cap, and I kind of don't want it to happen, because it's Cap. He's become, like...
He's the most important. Yeah, he's the one we care about the most now.
He is, and not to mention the fact that when he came out for the first time in that train station in Scotland, I actually turned around to Becky and went, "Is it weird that I've kind of got a boner?"
Yeah,
yes, it is. Yeah,
and she just went, "No." I was like, "Good," because I'm fine with that. I'm still very comfortable in my sexuality, in the fact that I'm having a boner on a cap.
There was a trailer or a TV spot that came on, and I was like, I said to Claire, I was like, good God, he looks good with that beard or something. She was like, what? I went, look at him, look how good he looks. And she was like, all right.
we were watching Guardians Volume 2 the other day before we watched Infinity War. It's actually on Saturday night. And Becky happened to mention that at work they are ranking of the Chris's at her work. And I said, all right, so Evans is 1. And she's like, I'll know Hemsworth. And I was like, fuck you.
He does look like he does look a bit like an angel had a baby with a pirate.
That was fantastic. The fact they kept calling him Pirate Angel. Great, so let's get into the good bits. Let's get into the fact that Peter Dinklage plays a giant dwarf dressed as Rob Zombie. That was fun. Wasn't it? Ian, you had fun with Rob Zombie giant Dinklage.
I forgot why he was there.
He's the Forge Master. He's the blacksmith of death.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's the guy who made Mjolnir and is now responsible for Storm.
Oh, he made Mau Mau.
He made Meow Meow, and he made the Infinity Gauntlet, and he made
shit. Did they say he made the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah. There's quite a big thing about it, actually.
There was holes there.
Really?
Yeah. It focuses on it like twice.
Really?
Yeah. It's the whole reason why they go there.
Thanos turned up, said, make me a glove so I can wield the Infinity Stones, and he said no, and he said, do it, or I'll kill everyone, I'll kill all your mates who work in this forge. Basically, there's a giant forge in space. It uses the star, a dying star, to forge these magical implements, and it's existed for millennia or whatever. Peter Dinklage is the head of that forge. Thanos comes along, make me a glove. He makes the glove. He kills everybody except Peter Dinklage, and
puts his hands off.
Puts his hands in like molten metal so he can't use them again, and kills off the star so nothing else can be forged. And then Thor comes along, restarts the star, and they forge a new magic hammer / axe.
And they actually covered all that in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, it was one of the least I found that whole sequence probably one of the least interesting of the film.
I think I was just zoning out, because it was probably like an hour and a half into the film. We still had an hour left, and it was a bit like, okay, why are they going there? So Thor can have a new hammer, right? Yeah. Okay, so Thor getting a new hammer is going to take a good 20 minutes of screen time.
Well, it is the one thing that can kill Thanos.
But then it doesn't.
Yeah, but it only doesn't because he's already got 5 of the Infinity Stones and he's altered reality, so that's why he leans into Thor and he says you should have gone for the head. That's because it's given him time to use the power of the Infinity Stones to do the click and do whatever he needs to do to get out of it.
If he had the reality stone...
If he'd got him in, Thor he actually says to Thor, if you'd got me in the head, that'd be the end of this. I'd be dead.
Yeah, if he'd cut his head off rather than hitting him in the chest.
Wasn't reason to go and get that.
But if he had the reality stone, couldn't he have just turned Mjolnir into a bubble?
Well, no, because he didn't expect it to come that quickly, I don't think.
And it's also it's a magical piece. It's a magical thing wielded by a god. So there's an extra level of magic to it.
So there's an extra level of magic that gets past Thanos having the Infinity Gauntlet and being able to do fucking anything.
Hence why they spend 20 minutes forging it. Yeah.
But then it doesn't because I don't know.
It does.
I'm sorry.
Does.
I'm being mingy. I just like.
No, it does, but it hits him in the chest. So before he actually dies, in his dying throes, he can use the gauntlet to alter time and take it back, and there you go.
Okay. All right.
So that. It was a bit. Any bits that you did like?
This just seems like it's a lot of busy work. Yeah. There were. I like.
Did you like Thor calling Rocket a rabbit?
Yeah, except the 30th time he did it, it kind of lost its charm a little bit. I did like bits. I thought there was a really interesting kind of understated bit of direction early on when they're in Doctor Strange's house, at Sanctum,
yep.
And it's like the kind of his hair starts blowing, and then they're hearing things outside, and then it's that kind of one shot of Tony Stark going out and all the people running away, and like how that bit kind of builds up quite slowly.
Yeah.
And it's almost like how you would imagine if something terrible happened in a city but a few blocks away, how things would escalate. It actually reminded me weirdly of World War Z, the initial bit where they're in that traffic jam, and then
when the traffic jam, yeah,
and then it kind of like kicks off, but it takes a while for it to kind of like build and build and build. It was like that, and I thought that was a really good, like slowly paced, effective bit of cinema in a film which is in a rush to do 10 million things at the same time. I think the thing that primarily bothers me about the film is that whereas most of the other Marvel Studios films do feel like their own thing, and it's impossible for this to do so because of what it is. But because it is this culmination that's bringing in multiple things from all over the place, I just don't connect with it as much. Whereas for Noel, it's obviously worked like gangbusters because it's got all these things, and like it's paying off all these things, and it's doing all this stuff that he wants it to do.
Whereas, I would have been the first person to call this out if it had been messy, if it had felt rushed and jumping around the place. As it stands, I think the big challenge of the very first Avengers movie was, all right, shit, how are they going to manage all these different strands and characters and stuff like that? And now, by comparison, that first Avengers movie seems small potatoes in that regard, and I think they did an excellent version of balancing all these strands and putting people into different positions. I think you have a few people in different locations, and when it moves from place to place, a little bit like, I don't know, I think something to compare it to, but, I quite like portmanteau movies where you get different stories, because if you're not enjoying the story that's going on, well, there'll be another one in a minute. So for this, it was, you're spending a little bit of time with these people and everything's cool and you really like these characters, and then it's like, all right, now we're going to go over to here and catch up with these guys. And it never felt rushed. I think all of those things played out very well, and all of that felt very, very well managed to me. I mean, especially when it came down to sort of little introductions of, bringing back certain characters. That moment where you see the Milano, I'm not even sure if it is the Milano, actually. I think it's a newer ship. But when you see the guy, like you've spent time with Thor and seeing Thanos for the first time, and then you've spent time on Earth with Stark and Strange and Hulk, and all that's going off, and it's all going terrible down there. And then bang, cut to space. Beautiful song from the 1970s. Milano shooting towards the screen, glistening in the sort of, in the space, in the twilight. Just beautiful. Just perfect.
The new ship of the Guardians.
That really gave me tingles that minute.
Yeah, the new ship for Guardians is called the Benatar.
Benatar, that's it, yeah. I think the Russo did James Gunn comment on that or something?
James Gunn. Somebody asked him the question and he responded to it. Like I said, I think my issues, although are very similar to those of Ian's, I think that they've bothered me less than they did Ian, but I can see why they've bothered Ian, is what I would say there. I enjoyed my time with the movie an awful lot, but it was the afterthoughts, thinking about it, which is the same thing as what you said, Noel. I think I am where you were before you watched it again.
Yeah. I mean, that's it, and it's it's done what I needed it to do in a roundabout way, and I think there's a lot going on there that can be discussed, and there's a lot of nuance in there that it really demands. I wouldn't say demands rewatch, but it really rewards rewatch for that reason. I think the whole. There's things you can apply to it, like what we were talking about, are they going to kill Stark or are they going to kill Cap? Well, no, they're not going to kill either of them. But what they're going to do is they're going to give Stark this movie, and they're going to push Cap into the background a little bit. And then for the next movie, they're going to push Cap into the foreground, and then they're probably going to get rid of Cap. So there's little things that you can kind of deduce from watching it and rewatching it, because you're not caught up in the, oh shit, it's this spectacle, like how's all this going to work? Individual characters as well, like Drax. I know that James Gunn apparently wrote a lot of the dialogue for the Guardians characters in this.
Can I predict what you're going to say next? Because wasn't your problem with Drax in Volume 2 was that his entire thing was that he just laughed really loud at things.
Yeah, it felt like they completely forgot what was great about that character.
In this, he went back to being amusing. Yeah,
it feels like
I had a feeling.
This is why we like Drax. Yeah. He had some fantastic moments, Drax as well. I think
the standing still moment was great.
Yeah.
I'm invisible.
No, but I'm eating this really slowly. I've practiced this. But there's a lot of little comedic moments. We could list them all. I am Steve Rogers. I think it would have been funny if he'd have said I am Steve, but that's just me. That's how I would have been. Yeah.
Right. All right. Noel, can you explain this to me then? Right.
Cool.
So throughout the Avengers movies and all of the different things that Tony Stark's turned up in, right? He's had this weird phone thing that he uses to hack into things and to flow things about and everything like that. Yet when he needs to ring Cap, he opens up like literally a 12-year-old flip phone. What the fuck was that? That really bothers me.
The one that Cap gave him at the end of Civil War.
Yeah.
Is it? Right.
Yeah.
Because it was bothering me. I was thinking that's got to be something that I'm missing.
No, Cap sent it at the very end of
Civil War a couple of weeks ago.
Was it Civil War? Yeah, it was at the very end of Civil War. Tony gets a FedEx from Stan Lee.
Of course he does, yeah.
He goes to the door and he says...
And it's
Tony
that,
Stank.
yes, it is.
Tony Stank, yeah. Parcel for Tony Stank, and it's that phone, yeah.
Yeah. See, this I forget too many things with these movies.
So yeah, the little nuances for where the story's going to go as well, I think, are there. I think the moment that you mention where there's a lot going on between Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, and the fact that Doctor Strange has seen 14 million different versions of this play out, and he only sees one where it works out, and he knows that, taking that forward. That's the reason that he hands over the time stone. That's the reason that he says, we're in the end game now. That's the reason that he says to Tony, it's this was the only way before he disappears. It's also, I think, the reason that when you see Tony reacting to Peter Parker disappearing a second time, it feels different, because at first, I think the first time you focused on Spider-Man, you focused on Parker because he's doing that thing so well of being this scared child who's like suddenly facing death, and he's like, I don't want to go. Like, and I think that's what you're thinking about. But the second time around, I was thinking, there appears to have been a period of time where Doctor Strange says, I only see one way of this playing out, and then them doing that attack on Thanos. So I have to wonder if Tony knows a little bit more about what's going on, and the way that Strange kind of says to him, it had to be, we had to do it this way. I wonder if there's more there. The Gamora thing, I think there's a lot more there. I do think that everybody post-Click is coming back, but I do think if there's someone pre-Click who might come back, it'll be Gamora, because I don't think she's dead. I think she's trapped in the Soul Stone.
Yeah, I think there's something to do with that.
yeah, and I think the whole guilt thing on Thanos is something that's going to come back as well, and we're going to see more of those interactions between him and young Gamora, and I think that if she's trapped in the Soul Stone or there's something there where she's on some sort of other plane, there's a potential backdoor there, because where there are other planes, there is Doctor Strange and there is Ant-Man, so there are connections to be made there. I don't know. So I think it's things like that, and there are a bunch of these things that I've kind of picked up on now, and I think there are a bunch of things that do lend themselves to a lot of discussion and theory. And what I like about this movie is that I can think about these things for a year now, and I can ponder these things, and I can watch YouTube videos with other people talking about these things, and I can come up with my own theories that will probably all be completely wrong, all for the next year. And I wouldn't have had any of those things if it had just been, oh, well, Captain America's dead then. Because it feels like there's more story now.
Is it next year then? It's next year that we get this. It's not like 18 months right like that.
Yeah, it's like this time next year.
Cool.
A Captain Marvel in the meantime as well, which is going to link in.
Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and then
this. And then this. Infinity... What's it? I don't know.
Avengers, whatever it's called. Yeah, they're not going to reveal what it's called apparently for a while yet.
Wait, so there's two before this. The sequel to this comes out, or is there three?
No, there's Captain Marvel, and then there's this.
It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, then Captain Marvel, then Avengers, Infinity Balls,
and then it's whatever's after that.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Are we done with Avengers for now then?
Yes. I'm not, but
go on then. Go on.
No. In life, I'm not, but.
Oh, in life, no.
Continue just to talk to myself about
it. Right. So, Ian, where are you on it then?
Nobody in this house listens to me talk about it anyway. So.
Ian, where are you on it? Go on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not shit. It's not shit. It just. I think it's one of the weakest Marvel Studios films.
Wow. Wasn't it? Can I just say, before I give my thing on it, is I thought Thanos, finally they got a villain nailed.
Oh, a CG villain as well, man. Fucking hell, are you watching DC? Jesus Christ. It's like a CG character that can act. Fuck.
Mm. And he's a big purple dude.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not sure. I really enjoyed my time with it.
I also get new favourite phrases with, like, there's a lot of one-liners that I quite like in this, and I get the feeling that I'm going to have a new favourite every time I watch it. My current favourite is, "Oh, I'll get that arm," from Rocket.
I do very much enjoy.
How much for the gun? How much for the gun? It's not for sale. Okay, how much for the arm? I'll get that arm.
And do you know what? You kind of get the feeling that he will in like a post-credits thing.
It's this lovely thing that they've threaded through both the Guardians movies and now this, where Rocket's got this obsession with people's prosthetic limbs. And
the fact that he's got a box of eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely not shit. Shall we do what we've been watching and then move into the week off?
What was the audience?
Oh, the audience poll, of course, yeah. I literally had that on my phone a second ago as well. Definitely not shit was 77%. Mm-hmm. Touching cloth was 14%, and shit was 9%.
Well, a little bit like, I can't remember what movie it was you were talking about last week or the week before, where you were saying basically, if you go and see this movie and you come out thinking it's shit, what were you expecting?
Rampage.
It's really
Rampage.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you're going to if this isn't a shit film, like, you know, I think you'd struggle to call it a shit film. And if you come out of this movie saying that it was shit, I have to wonder why you went to see it in the first place, because it pretty much does exactly what it promised to do, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's it. It's if you came out of this thinking it was shit, it's clear that you don't like comic book movies. So therefore, why would you go and see this comic book movie if not to just say that you don't like comic book movies?
Yeah, exactly.
And in that case, just
be the first person to say that you thought it was shit.
Yeah, just don't bother wasting your money. Yeah. Ian, because you've not spoken as much in the past hour, nearly. What have you been watching this week?
Okay, so I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
So did I.
You mentioned. So it's... Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's half an hour longer than the original, and it shows. But I don't know. It's interesting. I think I'm not a massive fan of Star-Lord. It's just like, right, okay, so he's a fucking man-child who needs to grow the fuck up then.
I do still love the line where he finds out that he can make stuff, and he's like, I'm going to build a Pac-Man thing, and he does turn and say...
I'm going to build some weird shit.
I'm going to build some weird shit.
Yeah, just the look in his eye when he says that as well is fantastic. No, yeah, it just... And, I mean, with Avengers as well, that... Like, what he did was basically... I don't know, it just... His whole ruled by emotion to the detriment of everything else thing, I'm tiring of. But I'm not tiring of the rest of the Guardians. But I don't find Chris Pratt the most charming actor in the world. The effect is lessening for me. But yeah, Guardians 2. I like it. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I will say the sequence where Rocket and Yondu are trying to get Baby Groot to get the Yondu hair thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he just keeps on getting the wrong... And that just one bit where it's like, that's a desk. Yeah, and then the toes. And it's like, please tell me you just found a drawer full of toes. Just...
So you've got like a freezer cabinet just full of like toes. It's the fact that Rooker doesn't say anything. He just shakes his head and just looks down.
Yeah. No, it's a good time. So yeah, Guardians 2.
I'll put my thing across because that's my what I've been watching.
Oh, go on. Yes,
I might as well say because I've only got like a little bit. I really enjoyed Guardians Volume 2 when we first watched it. I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
I really enjoyed that second watch as well. I think the first act is brilliant and a lot of fun. The middle is baggy as fuck, and that's where too much of the time is spent. And the end is great. But yeah, it felt so long watching it this time round.
Mm.
Yeah.
I actually watched both. I watched both of them fairly recently, but I second Volume 2 most recently, and I think I enjoyed it way more the first time, but this time around I think because I'd rewatched the first one, it became clear to me just how much better the first one really is. So the second one's great, but that first one, I think maybe the first time that I saw Volume 2 I hadn't rewatched Volume 1. So seeing them close together, just being able to compare them side by side almost really shows you how much stronger that first one is.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2's great, and it's got some fucking awesome moments as well. The Yondu, just after that scene that you mentioned, Ian, where he does get the sort of thing and he's, they're basically killing everybody on the ship. That's a fantastic scene. That.
It is really a brilliant scene, yeah. Yeah. Go on then, Ian, what else have you been watching?
Okay, so I also watched Rough Night, which was the...
What's this on now? Is this out there?
It's on Now TV.
Okay.
Incidentally, Now TV, for anyone who's got Now TV, little trick.
Yeah.
I went to cancel my Sky Cinema pass for Now TV because the Hurricane Heist had been seen, so I no longer had as much use for it. And it was like, you sure you want to cancel? Why? It's too expensive. Right, okay. Are you sure? Because you get this and this and this. Yes, I'm fucking sure. All right, then fine.
Oh, God, I went through this recently as well, yeah.
Right, and it's just like, right, okay. Down from $9.99 a month to $3.99 a month for 4 months. It was like, fuck it. Shit, all right, fine.
hang on a second. So then, the entertainment pass with Now TV, where you got like Sky Atlantic and all that stuff, I was like, I wonder if it'll work on that as well. Lo and behold, $7.99 a month down to $3.49 a month for 4 months. It's like, fuck it, like... So now, I've kept the cinema pass.
Cancel it every 4 months.
Yeah, that kind of seems like it. And it's like, if they go, no, we're not offering you any lower rates, and it's like, well, fine, I didn't want you anyway.
Fine, I was going anyway, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and now I've got the cinema pass and the entertainment pass for £1 less a month than I was paying for just the entertainment pass. It's like, I mean...
I only...
Go on.
I only had the entertainment pass, but what I was going to mention was I had the entertainment pass and I finally cancelled it last month, so it disappeared yesterday. But the sheer number of times that it asks you, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go? Do you want to try this? No? Is there anything? Can we suck your dick?
Yeah.
It's like, But yeah, I didn't notice that, or I might have stuck it out for another one.
Because I did it on the cinema one. I was like, I wonder if it'll do it on the entertainment one, or is it going to be like, you've had the cinema offer, nah, mate, you can fuck off. And it was like, no, it just went, okay, then fine, $3.49. Well, yeah, shit, why not? So now, until fucking September, I've got both of them, which is fine, because there's some good shit on Now TV. What's not good is Rough Night.
I did look at it and think, is that the Scarlett Johansson one?
Yeah.
I actually, why don't I? Oh, because it's got Gillian Bell and Kate McKinnon doing that voice, I'm guessing, all the time. So that put me off it quite a lot.
The thing is, I mean, like, this came out in the same summer as Girls Trip, which did an awful lot better and was a lot more zeitgeisty. And it is a better film. Girls Trip is actually pretty good. That's actually on Now TV as well. It's too long, but it's worth a go as Girls Trip. But Rough Night. So basically, Scarlett Johansson's getting married. Gillian Bell's her best friend. Aaliyah Shawkat, Zoe Kravitz, and Kate McKinnon are her other friends. Gillian Bell accidentally kills a stripper by sitting on him, basically. And then it kind of goes on from there. Made me laugh a couple times. It's only about 90 minutes long, but it kind of felt long at that. It would have been 75, 80 minutes probably would have been better. Scarlett Johansson's not very funny. I mean, she is the straight woman in this, she and Zoe Kravitz. She's not very funny, though. Ty Burrell, Phil from Modern Family, turns up along with Demi Moore as a pair of swingers, and they're actually quite good value for the 5 minutes or so they have on screen. I do enjoy Ty Burrell, but yeah, it really was just right. That was watched then, and I just moved on with my life. So,
well, you've made me want to rewatch Very Bad Things. Anyway, so.
Do that. Yeah. Rewatch Very Bad Things. You don't need to watch Rough Night. And as part of an unintentional Adam Sandler double bill that I had on Sunday, because I couldn't get up, like genuinely, we watched Friends on Comedy Central. And then Donna went off to do some stuff, and I couldn't really stand up to get the Apple TV remote. So I ended up watching the entirety of Pixels. So that happened.
Pixels ain't that bad.
No, the thing is, Pixels isn't that bad, but I've now seen Pixels twice.
I think I've seen Pixels twice.
You know, and it's like, this is the thing though, it's one of those films where you say, I've seen such and such twice, and I'm like, you're the only person on Earth who's seen that twice. Now, we are the only two people on Earth who have seen Pixels twice now, and I include Chris Columbus, the director, in that. It's the thing is, that film was only out in 2015, but my God, the sheer virtual ink that would be spilled on Twitter with regards to the way that Michelle Monaghan's character is treated in that film, and the way that a woman, a video game character woman,
kind of like has a thing with Josh Gad. She's then sucked back up into the video game stuff, and then the Qbert trophy that they won turns itself into the video game woman, and then a year later, Josh Gad and her have a bunch of baby Qberts.
Yeah.
It's this thing that's supposed to be funny, and if you actually think about it for more than 2 seconds, is the creepiest fucking thing you've ever thought of in your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually horrifying. I think it might be the last big Sandler film before his Netflix deal.
I think it was.
And it does just feel like, right, yeah, he's kind of done. Like, from a mainstream cinema point of view, it's just like, no, it's not there. Kevin James is the president of the United States, and
yeah, but then again, you know, look who's actually president of the United States at the moment. That doesn't seem too unrealistic.
No, well, that's true. That's true. I don't know. There's a couple of moments that did make me laugh, in fairness, and I think the action's actually pretty decent. I will say, I mean, it's a really very, very cheap laugh, but just the creator of Pac-Man seeing the giant Pac-Man and going, "No, I will talk to him. He is my son," and then trying to have a conversation with Pac-Man about how he's not the bad guy, and then Pac-Man just basically eats him. It's a good time. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good time. You know, but the action sequences I think are all right. It's Chris Columbus has got an eye, you know, and he knows how to do that kind of thing. It just, I don't know. It's not a very funny film, but I don't think it's as aggressively fuck you as Grown Ups or actually, I don't think I saw Grown Ups 2.
You didn't see Grown Ups 2.
No.
You blankly refused to ever fucking watch it.
Yeah.
You also said,
Okay.
I think I'm almost quoting it when we devised the idea for paying it forward. You said, if you buy me Grown Ups 2,
Yeah, you
I
did.
will not watch it, and I will punch you in the dick.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I could pay that forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Pixels. I watched it because I couldn't stand up.
Anything else?
No, that's me.
Cool. Noel, what have you been watching recently?
Oh God, what have I been watching recently? That isn't a Marvel film. Well, technically, I rewatched the Spider-Man trilogy, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I've been watching them in little bite-sized chunks with Charlie, because we started watching the first Spider-Man movie, and I figured there's a lot of not Spider-Man happening in this. So if I'm gonna get him to watch these, I'm gonna want to sit with him. We'll do it in half-hour chunks, and I'll just explain to him what's going on. Those half-hour chunks got a little bit longer than half hours, which was good. Charlie really bought into it. He really sort of went along with the story, and I was kind of explaining to him everything that was happening. Oh, this is his best friend, and this is this, and oh, he works with this guy, and all that type of thing. So he seemed to really get into the story of it, to the point where this morning he came downstairs because I was a bit ill yesterday, and Claire got up with him this morning, and he came down, and Claire came up and she was like, "He's watching Spider-Man 3, is that okay?" And what Claire meant was, he's watching Spider-Man 3, is it okay? There's nothing scary in it or bad for him that he can see. But my response was, no, not without me. And so I jumped out of bed and ran downstairs. So we ended up watching the end of Spider-Man 3 together, and he really kind of got into it, which was great, a great thing to see, because I think those movies are very much of their time now. I think they feel like, it's like you said, Ian, before when we were discussing it, they do feel like films that are done. And I think, without wanting to sort of be nasty towards them, that's really very true. They, a lot's changed since those movies came out. And a lot of their weaknesses shine through now that we have more sophisticated superhero palettes, I guess. They're still fun. The supporting actors are, for the most part, still terrible. I've always thought that James Franco was pretty poor in these films, and he really fucking is. I've always thought that what's her face, Snaggletooth, Kirsten Dunst. I've always thought that Kirsten Dunst was bad. She's fucking horrible. Like, I mean, I know she was never keen on making these movies, but she is fucking sleepwalking through most of these scenes. There's a couple of interactions in particular. There's one where I think it's the first one where she's having a conversation with Peter over the in Spider-Man 1 over the fence, and it's just dreadful. Like, she's a decent actress and she's been decent in things, and it's like she's forgotten how to act in these films a lot of the time. She's appalling. And I've always not really got on with her in terms of casting. I don't think she wasn't really very Mary Jane. That type of thing doesn't seem to matter nowadays, but I think at the time that kind of stood out, and it still stands out to me. So there's a lot wrong with these films, but they're fun and they're perfect for a young audience. Charlie loved Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is a film that I've kind of defended for many years. I still get something out of it. And I still get something out of all three of these films. I just think they're showing their age a little bit now, unfortunately. But that's that. So, yeah, Spider-Man trilogy. I've not really watched much else apart from this other thing that we're going to talk about.
Cool. I've only got a couple, and then we'll get into the secondary main event. Yeah, we'll get into it. I've been playing a lot of the Mad Max game because it's free on the PS Plus thing. So I watched Mad Max Fury Road the other night. Which I know you weren't big on, I don't think, were you, Noel? But Ian, you fucking love it, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I need to rewatch that film. I'll come round on rewatch. I had a bad experience in the cinema with it.
I rewatched it. First time I've rewatched it. I think I've rewatched it since cinema, but I think this is the first time I've watched it in maybe a couple of years, maybe. That is a really, really, really fucking good movie. It's fucking solid. We spoke about it quite a lot on the podcast, so I won't go into too much detail. But yeah, really enjoyed it, and actually made me think. I think I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I had. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Also rewatched Wind River, which was, I think, my number 2 movie of last year. Rewatched that. It's still a fucking cracking movie. It really is. I do think Taylor Sheridan is one of the best writers out there at the moment, and as director, it's a solid, technically second, I think it counts as outing for him. Renner's fantastic. I think Elizabeth Olsen's brilliant. It's got a great moment where the film is ticking along nicely, and it's a good level, and then it snaps and it notches itself up a good level. So yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed my rewatch of Wind River.
Very good.
I was a bit worried. I'm always worried about watching something that you've watched when you watched it the first time, you hold it so high up. I kind of get these panics and think, shit, what if I watch it now and go, I didn't like that as much. That come down can sometimes be a little bit too much, so I get quite nervous about sort of watching stuff. It's why I'm a little bit nervous about rewatching Hostiles, because I was that high on it that what if I was just wrong and I come down kind of hard on it. So yeah, I was a little bit worried about Wind River, but I was fucking right the first time. Nice. The last one I watched The Lifeguard. I don't know why I watched The Lifeguard, but me and Bex were doing the usual thing of flicking through Netflix and as such, and trying to find something. And I think I watched Lifeguard because it's got it's got Kristen Bell in it, and I don't mind Kristen Bell as an actress, and it was 95 minutes long, and I thought, I can cope with 95 minutes long because...
Is this a film we're supposed to know?
You've not seen the lifeguard, like, fucking cropping up in, like, your scroll along timeline on...
what, on Netflix?
On Netflix,
No, I haven't.
It fucking crops up all the time on mine. Like, I think I watched it just so it'd stop fucking cropping up.
I'm actually on Netflix now. The Lifeguard.
So am
I have not seen that pop up once now.
But honestly, it pops up shitloads on mine.
Your algorithm is saying some shit to you, bud.
It is, mate. It fucking is.
You're a big fan of Veronica Mars. Are you watching Veronica Mars on Netflix?
No, but Bex did watch all of The Good Place, and I did watch most of it with her.
You need to get some separate fucking profiles on that shit, bud.
Well, look, I've got a separate profile for Isabel, but not for me.
You need to get a separate profile. Anything where like it's acknowledging The Good Place is not a good thing because The Good Place is fucking shit.
I can't disagree with you on that at all.
Yeah,
it
is.
I watched a few episodes of that. I didn't mind it. I mean, it's not good, but
no, I've got three.
It's like eating popcorn.
Everyone loves it, Noel. Everyone loves The Good Place.
No,
Everyone
I don't know how
loves The Good Place. It's shit.
I don't know how you could love it.
Me and Bex have watched 3 seasons, and we're both like, I still can't work out if I'm actually enjoying this or I'm just fine with it being on.
You don't see people on Twitter all the time saying like, "Oh, this must be the bad place."
Yeah,
we're definitely in the bad place.
Oh, is that a reference?
Yeah. It's a reference because everybody loves The Good Place now.
Oh, okay.
Because like everyone loved Community. And now
I love
no
the
one
first.
talks
I really
about
enjoyed the
Community.
first 2 seasons of Community, and then stopped giving a shit because it just got shit. But
It's a bit like when everybody's favourite was Cam Gigande.
Everybody's favourite was Cam Gigande. Yes.
Yep.
Where the fuck's Cam been? Right, you talk about this fucking piece of shit. I'm going to look up Cam Gigande.
He was in the remake of The Magnificent Seven.
The what?
He was in the remake of The Magnificent Seven.
He was. Oh,
He was in Avengers Infinity War as well, Ian. Will you not watch it? He was in Avengers Infinity War, right?
Was he Peter Dinklage?
Yeah, no. You must have missed it, mate. Not paying attention.
Let's go back and watch it again. The Lifeguard, right? It's basically a lot of music drops, and that's it. Not a lot happens. Don't watch it. It was fine, but yeah. It doesn't make really that much sense, and it feels like it thinks it's a lot kind of more poignant than it is, and it's saying a lot more than it actually is. Whereas at the end of it, you just go, she had a good job, she was having an affair with her boss, he wouldn't leave his wife, so she has a breakdown, goes home, fucks a high school kid, everyone finds out, and then she becomes an award-winning writer. I don't know what she's learned here, but it's not a lot.
It looks like I've never come across this film before, and now Netflix is desperately trying to play me a trailer for it. It looks like the kind of film that somebody, like, I don't know who directed it, but they're probably going to get a Star Wars film next or something. Is it sort of one of those sort of like hit indie dramas where they're going to get a big movie next to, they're going to get a Jurassic movie or something?
It played Sundance. Yeah, there you go. It's a very Sundancey movie. It was fine, but nobody else needs to watch it, is what I would say. I've watched it for us all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Moving swiftly on to another Netflix original movie. And is this the 4th Adam Sandler Netflix original movie of 5 that he's doing? There's one more to come, I think, isn't there?
So what have we had? We've had the Ridiculous Six.
Ridiculous Six.
Do-Over.
Sandy Wexler.
Sandy Wexler. The Maywick Stories, but that wasn't part of his.
No.
What's it? So yeah, it's the 4th then, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So this one is directed by Robert Smigel and is written by Adam Sandler and Robert Smigel. It stars Adam Sandler, funnily enough. Chris Rock, Steve Buscemi's there. Some other people are there as well. There's no score, so there's no composer for it at all, for some reason. And Adam Sandler plays Kenny Lustig, whose daughter is marrying the son of Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a big shot heart surgeon, and Kenny Lustig lives in Long Island, and he's not a big shot, but he's trying to put on the wedding quite cheap, but make it look like it's more expensive. And I'd say hilarity ensues, but guys, does hilarity ensue? Ian, I'm going to go to you first.
The key thing with the week of, I think, is that it's the first time Adam Sandler has deemed a age and appearance appropriate woman to be his wife on screen.
His wife is actually in the movie as well, isn't she?
Yeah, what's her name? Jackie Sandler, is it?
Yeah.
Who does she play?
Who does she play?
She plays his brothers, or his cousins, or brother.
She the one with the dodgy son.
Yeah, she's the one with the son that's a drug addict. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. And Jared Sandler. Oh, right. Okay, so that's right. So Jared Sandler played the creepy next door neighbor kid, and he also plays a character called Jared in this. He also played a character called Jared in Sandy Wexler. Is he? Oh, he's Adam Sandler's nephew. Okay, so we've got a film here where Adam Sandler has now gotten so lazy that it's just like, right, your nephew, do you want to be in this film? Yeah, fine. Okay, wife, do you want to be in this film? Yeah, okay. Right, I need another star who can be in this. Chris Rock, what are you doing for a week? Yeah, do you want to feel a man's stumps and get paid some money for it? Yeah, all right, cool. You got divorced recently, so you need the money. Okay, great. That's what I love to hear. All right, I'll see you in a bit. It's the most contractual obligation film that isn't a franchise film that I think you'll ever see. It does literally just seem like, here is content. Here is something which just about warrants having a graphic on Netflix.
It's like some sort of tax loop thing or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like a shell company has created this film because the producers are in trouble with the Hungarian version of HMRC.
It's like Adam Sandler's made this movie because if Adam Sandler doesn't make this movie within the next year, he loses the right to be Adam Sandler. Like the rights to be Adam Sandler pass back over to
Joel McHale,
Ben Stiller, or something like that. Yeah. Or Disney. Yeah.
Disney would then own the rights to Adam Sandler. It's why he did bedtime stories. People talk about the death of cinema, and it's just like you see a film like The Week Of, and it's just this uninspired, flat. I mean, like Donna, caught me watching some of it, and she was just like, "What are you doing watching a TV show?" And it was yeah. It's. I mean, the only reason why we're talking about it is because we have this fucking masochistic thing where we review all the Adam Sandler Netflix show. So
we do, and we will continue doing it.
And we will.
So weirdly, so ironically, it's out of contractual obligation.
Yeah. It's.
I think between forcing yourselves to sit through Infinity War and struggling with that, and forcing yourself to sit through this and struggling with this, I think the episode of this show needs to be contractual obligations.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with this movie, it's because we didn't mind the do-over, did we? We were fine with the do-over.
I was okay with the do-over. Yeah.
I was okay with the do-over. It's not great, but it was fun enough. Sandy Wexler was shit and was over 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That film was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. And the week of is I don't think I can call it a bad movie because I don't think you can call it a movie.
Mm. My main thing with this is, first of all, can I say, after this, is it all right if I just go back to listening to you talk about these movies?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be watching any more of these. My main thing with this is it felt very much to me like, if I didn't know who Adam Sandler and Chris Rock were, I think it would feel like, I think I would have thought I was watching a documentary about a bloke whose daughter's getting married on like fucking on a channel like Hey You or something like that. It literally just felt like some people were being followed around and they were trying to organise a wedding. The reality TV channel with like Kardashians on it and stuff like that. I just don't think anybody watches it.
Oh, wow. There's a reality TV channel called Hey... Well, I suppose there's a comedy channel called Dave, so I don't know.
Yeah, Hey You, H-A-Y-U. It's a reality TV channel. I don't know what's on it apart from Kardashians, but my point is it feels like a documentary following some people around who, like, maybe they're famous or maybe they're like half famous, maybe they were on a different reality show or something like that. It doesn't feel like a film, and it's the problem with stuff like this as well is I think we're all defenders of Netflix a lot of the time, and what Netflix is doing is what Netflix is doing for cinema and what Netflix is doing for film and for content, generally speaking. But between this and the sheer fucking number of shit fucking stand-up things that they put out, it's getting really difficult to continue to defend. Like, they make it difficult to defend them a lot of the time with stuff like this, and it's such a fucking shame because, you know, they are creating so many opportunities elsewhere.
That's it. This is it. I know that I've mentioned it already, but the fact that it doesn't even have a score just smacks of...
That's really bothered you, hasn't it?
It has bothered me because it's just... It's so... We don't give a shit. I've been paid for this movie already, so I can't be asked to even bother writing a decent script. It's just something I found in a drawer, and I've not even fucking polished it. I've got this guy who's never actually directed a movie but has written some shit. He's going to direct it. I've not even got like one of the usual hacks that I get to fucking direct my movies. Steve Buscemi's going to do it. I'm still mates with Chris Rock and he owes me a favour. And plus Netflix is going to give him $5 million for doing it, so fuck it. You know, what are you going to cast him at? Oh, he's a big shot who cheated on his wife a bunch and then she left him and he's got to pay for her. Shouldn't be that difficult for him to play that, should it? And it just... Oh, and I'll do a voice. Which one? That one. You know the one.
Yeah.
And I've still got some costumes left over from that Jack and Jill movie I made. So if we put some old bit makeup on me, I'll do that. It'll be funny. People love it when I dress up as a fucking woman. I don't know what they do, Adam. Fuck it, I don't care. It's that, or can you be asked to cast somebody else? No, fuck it, it'll be fine. And it just feels just like they can't be bothered.
Yeah, whether it's Netflix or it's Adam Sandler or all the people involved in this, it feels like it's just been... It feels like maybe Netflix had just sort of gone, you know, you stick Netflix on and it's like, oh, there you go. And you're like, what? Oh, there you go, this here. Well, what is that? I don't know, just it's got Adam Sandler in it, just take it, go. It's got, I don't know what it is. Well, no, it's got Adam Sandler in it, it's got Chris Rock in it, just take it.
The weird thing is, there's going to come a point where... Because the reason why Netflix struck up this deal with Adam Sandler is because they said that a lot of the most watched movies on Netflix globally were Adam Sandler movies.
Were good Adam Sandler. Were good Adam Sandler movies from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what people did watch them, and they watched them not once, not twice, but 2 or 3 times. People would watch these movies, and then so that's why they offered him this 5-picture deal, and then he's delivering this really subpar Adam Sandler movies, and they must be looking at it going, fucking hell, what we paid for was more of the kind of grown-ups, just go with it, Mr. Deeds, Pixels, things like that. That's what we paid for. What we're getting is this shit. We're getting The Waterboy over and over again. And it's
not like before this deal happened, his recent stuff was it was Grown Ups, it was Grown Ups 2, it was That's My Boy, it was Jack and Jill, it was Funny People was a little bit better received, I guess, but I'm going back now, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Click. You have to go back quite a way to get to something really funny from Adam Sandler.
But they were making money. Up to probably Just Go With It. They were making money. Grown Ups. I know, Ian, you despised it, but that's the thing. Grown Ups had an $80 million budget. An $80 million budget for Grown Ups.
Cost $8 million.
Because they filmed it in a big location, and that was the reason why. And then you look at something like Just Go With It again. That I think also had an $80 million budget. Fucking even fucking Blended, which wasn't that bad. I think that had like a near $100 million budget. But the 40, so that's half of like a Grown Ups, or what is it? But Grown Ups 2, $80 million budget. But these all made, between $200 and $250 million, $200 and $300 million. So they made money. They were ticking over nicely. But it's like they offered him all this money and he went, do you know what? I don't really have to even bother fucking trying.
Yeah.
But it really does now feel like he's really not trying.
It doesn't help me as well. I like a lot of Sandler's older stuff, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, Wedding Singer, that type of thing. It doesn't help me that now he leans... he always has leaned on it a lot, but a lot of his stuff, there always has to be stuff that relates to him, the music that he likes, the fact that he's from Brooklyn, the fact that he likes baseball. It's all these Adam Sandler things, and it's like, I fucking get it. You're from Brooklyn, fucking I'm not interested in the stuff around him, and if I'm not laughing, and I'm meant to just sort of like, oh yeah, this is part of the Adam Sandler world where we all listen to Journey or make reference to fucking Journey or Chicago or some sort of like these 80s rock bands and stuff, like I'm not into his whole thing, so there's nothing else. If there's no laughs, there's nothing else there for me. There's no charm there for me. Not that he's making much effort to do charm anyway, but
yeah, I think we can all. Oh, and the big massive bottles of booze. What was that about?
I actually quite enjoyed
That's obviously a thing. Yeah, that's obviously a thing that. Did he say they got them from Vegas? Is that a thing in Vegas? I don't know.
It just, yeah. It's yeah. For me, it's a definitely shit. Very, very definitely shit.
The thing is, I will say one thing about it is one positive thing about it is a lot of the time while I was watching it, because I wasn't laughing. There was one moment I laughed at, which is the point where he goes out into the street and there's 2 black guys walking past and he invites them in, and it's just I think I laughed at it because it was weird. It was like, is this a joke or what's? Like,
I didn't laugh that much at that point. I laughed at the point when the other guy comes down and says, "Oh, and are you cousins? What is it? And then the actual cousin turned around and goes, just go with it. It'll be easier.
Yeah.
I laughed at that, but I didn't tend to laugh at anything Adam Sandler did. Chris Rock, it just felt like it was a little bit close to home.
Yeah. You get that a lot from him, don't you? It's like, you still.
But then again,
figure it out.
His stand-up thing on Netflix was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. That's it. I mean, there wasn't a lot to laugh at, but I think what it was going for, if it was going for anything, somebody must have been going for something. I think what it was going for was a kind of a Christmas Vacation meets Father of the Bride kind of vibe. I don't think it got. I think the moments where it flicks up on the screen the Monday and you get the little chime, that felt very Christmas Vacation-y to me.
Yeah.
I think the sort of like the building sort of stress thing of we're getting to this event and it's not going to go well. There's reflections of that and Father of the Bride and stuff like that. So I think maybe it was half-heartedly going for that type of thing. If there was one positive about it, it would be that for a lot of the time, because I wasn't laughing along with it, it felt a little bit like Adam Sandler was maybe not necessarily doing a comedy here. Like, he's successfully done straight roles in the past, and there were moments in this where I felt like, oh, okay, this is actually, there's moments between him and his daughter. Actually, there was a couple of moments between him and his daughter where it looked like he was going to snog her, which I felt weird about. I don't know if anybody else felt that way.
Yeah.
but there were other moments where there were little touching, tiny little moments, and I was like, oh, right, it's that type of thing. But then, you'd get a shot of him picking up his uncle with no legs, and it's like, oh, no, it's that type of thing. So, yeah, if they'd approached this film a little bit differently and just made a completely different film, it might have been better. But
they tried to make it funny, but it's a little bit. You watch it going, you've forgotten how to be funny now, haven't you? Or you're not even trying to be funny. You're just assuming that you're going to be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit like that's my memories of funny people, was that when that film's good, it's good. And when it's doing good drama, it's doing good drama and it's good. And when it's doing good comedy, it's doing good comedy and it's good. But the two things don't really work together, and the film's too long as well. That's my other abiding memory of it. And I think there's a similar thing here. It's like if they'd have done this as a straight drama, there might have been something interesting there about a man who's trying to do the best by his daughter, but he can't, and he's struggling with the fact that he's competing against the Chris Rock character. Maybe there's something there, but I don't know. What we got was just something very phoned in instead, I think.
Yeah, that's it. It does smack of contractual obligation completely.
Who writes these things? Who's writing? Is he writing these things?
Yeah,
him and the director wrote it. So yeah, definitely shit for me.
Yeah.
Audience vote was definitely not shit 33%, touching off 0%, and shit 67%.
How many votes?
13.
13, okay.
Right, we do have a question, guys.
Oh, God.
It's not from me this time either.
I'm completely unprepared.
Ethan M. Bar at Ethan Bar 2. If the Avengers were to go back in time to a scene from any of the previous films, which would you choose?
What, the previous Marvel films?
Yes.
If they were to go back in time to any scene from the previous Marvel films?
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, there's so much. Who do I want to see again? Who do I miss?
I've got mine.
Go on.
I think it's in... Is it in Age of Ultron? It's the scene where Tony Stark and Pepper Potts are talking in Stark Tower, and Paltrow's wearing a pair of tiny denim shorts.
Just
so I can see that scene again.
First Avengers.
Is it in the first Avengers?
That'd
be the one. That'd be the one. I'd get them all to go back, look at it, and Tony Stark just to go, "Yep, see, those are the shorts," and then walk back out.
That's a good scene. I like that.
I just thought all of them in the background just nod and go, "Yep," and then walk back out.
I would have the Avengers arrive in Iron Man 2 into the hangar where Justin Hammer is having a discussion with Mickey Rourke's Whiplash, and the Avengers return his bird to him because he really wants to see his bird.
He did.
He gets his bird.
He did like his bird.
Yeah.
Ian.
I don't know, one of the early scenes in For the Dark World, so they could just fucking kill Christopher Eccleston and we could just leave.
Somewhere right now, Christopher Eccleston has gone. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, because Christopher Eccleston would just be like, I didn't want to do it anyway. I want to do theatre. I just want to do theatre, but I also like money. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah, he literally admits that. I reckon if you sat down next to, on a bus next to Christopher Eccleston and you went, "You Christopher Eccleston?" he'd go, "I didn't want to do Thor. I didn't want to do Gone in 60 Seconds, but they gave me money." You're like, "Oh, cool."
I've met Christopher Eccleston a few times, and
I've met him.
You should be aware he speaks a lot more like me than he does like that.
He does actually, yeah. I've met him on one occasion, and not in like a brief meeting for like I was talking to him for about an hour. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he used to. There was a time where he. I worked at the cinema in town, the Odeon in town. You know, the one with the IMAX that we've been to a couple of times. Mm-hmm. I used to work there, and I used to live in Eccles and. Near a restaurant that I used to go to frequently with my missus at the time, and I used to drink at a pub in Worsley called the White Horse, and he used to be in the White Horse every time I was in there. He used to be in the restaurant every time I was in there. He used to come into the cinema every time I was working, and then I'd go to the Corner House Cafe and I'd see him in there as well. I would see Christopher Eccleston fucking everywhere. It was really odd. It was like he was stalking me. It was bizarre. And there was the time that he, I don't know if you remember, but when he did Doctor Who, when he left Doctor Who, it was a bit of a shock to everyone, and it was a bit of a big news story because Doctor Who had kind of just come back and it had only really run for a season, and he sort of walked away from it. The day after that news story broke, I was in the Corner House Cafe just doing some university work, and he came in and sat on the next table to me. I may have mentioned this before. He sat on the next table to me, and his friend came in and sat down, and they proceeded to talk for about an hour and a half about all the reasons that he left Doctor Who. And I was just sat there listening. I was like, fuck, this is great. I should be recording this. Yeah, it was fascinating.
Nice.
And he does seem like a very, very, very nice guy. I always used to make a point of calling him Mr. Eccleston when I worked in the cinema. I'd be like, "Yeah, it's screen number 3, Mr. Eccleston." And yeah, he's a thoroughly nice chap. Just really didn't want to be in a Marvel film.
Yeah. No, fair enough. The heart wants what the heart wants. His heart wants theatre and money.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm glad the fact that he likes to admit that as well.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, I mean, fuck, I would too.
Cool. Ian, what are we covering next week?
Okay,
genuinely, what are we covering next week?
The only thing that's out, because we're not going to do the Amy Schumer film, is the sequel to The Strangers, which apparently is actually not that bad.
Okay, what's that called?
Is this the first
Strangers
sequel
2?
to The Strangers?
This is the first sequel to The Strangers.
Wow, that seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, The Strangers Pray at Night.
Ah, yes.
I seem to remember you quite liked The Strangers, Ian.
I enjoyed The Strangers.
I enjoyed The Strangers, actually. I also enjoyed the... is it a Romania or a French film that it's not based on, but very heavily
Them.
based upon? Them, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, the Strangers. I'll never be able to watch The Strangers again. I've seen that film twice, and it fucking weirds me the fuck out. It really did a number on me, that film, just because it feels like it could be real.
I look forward to it. I'm gonna rewatch that before we watch Strangers.
I'm fucking not.
Pray at night.
No, just that whole kind of like, why? Because you were home. It's just, oh, fuck me. Nah.
Well, I say I'm going to do that before I watch it, but I need to work out if it's playing near me first, because Yorkview don't release their, till late Thursday.
In the end of the day, it's like that and the Amy Schumer one are the only two wide releases this week, and the other films that have been out for a bit now, because the week before Avengers, like, nothing came out. So cinemas are a little bit starved for product, so I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, cool. Right.
Did you notice, Ian, that it says on the poster for The Strangers based on true events?
Yeah, no, it's not. I refuse to believe that.
Is there anything that we have missed that we need to discuss before we get off?
How The Strangers is not based on true events.
I think it might be, though, Ian.
Your cinema listings are out, by the way.
Are they?
I'm just having a look now. Yeah, Strangers Pray at Night is playing.
Is it on the View website?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I've just looked on the View website and it wasn't there.
Oh, Christina Hendricks is in it. Okay.
Yeah,
she'll turn up in anything nowadays.
Still, I'll watch that. Oh, Ghost.
Do you think she'll turn up for my birthday at the weekend?
Yeah, if you give sling her 20 quid, yeah.
I would be fascinated to see how many people go to a 9:25 in the morning screening of Ghost Stories.
Oh shit! I thought you were about to say it was for the fucking, what is it? For that.
No, earliest is 2:40 on Friday. A 9:25 in the morning screening of Ghost Stories.
I'd go that time.
What the fuck? The Greatest Showman is still playing 5 times a day.
Playing.
That thing's on iTunes.
Made a lot of money, hasn't it?
Oh yeah,
it is.
That thing's huge. That thing's huge. That's fucking wild. Anyway, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society is still playing.
Fuck that title. It's on at our local independent cinema thing as well, because I was kind of hoping that they might have pulled their finger out of their arse and got Infinity War, but no, it's the fucking Potato Peel Society.
What? What is this?
The Didsbury Potato Pie Company. What's it called again, Ian?
The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society.
Yeah.
It's playing at 9:30 in the morning on Friday if you want to check it out, Mark.
I'm all right. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes long. I will.
It's for the exotic Marigold Hotel crowd.
Yeah, it's for those cunts.
Like, seriously, that is blowing my mind that The Greatest Showman is still playing a full day of showings in your fucking.
It is indeed.
That's crazy.
On the flip side of that, one thing that I just noticed was when I clicked on The Strangers Pray at Night, the little recommendation thing on IMDb at the bottom for sort of films like this was Death Wish, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, Death Wish, I wonder when that's coming out. Death Wish came out on April the 6th.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a single person mention it.
Yeah, that thing came and went.
Yeah, that fucker disappeared.
That is crazy. Oh, my God. I mean, it's not crazy. It's to be completely expected, but...
It'll be on Netflix by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I can avoid it there as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, I think that is it for us for episode 254. Thank you very much, Noel, for joining us.
Nice one, bud.
We look forward to speaking to you again when you fancy it. If not, it'll be July or June, is it, at Man of the Wasp?
We've got Deadpool. Isn't Deadpool before then?
Yeah.
Deadpool's in like 2 weeks.
Yep, couple of weeks. Yeah. I'll come back.
Yes, nice.
Got me?
Yeah, very good.
So we'll be covering The Strangers sequel next week. Do dudeandmonkey.com, at dudeandmonkey, at Ian Loring, at Noel Mellor, at Dude4s. Thank you very much for listening. Speak to you later. Goodbye.
And just another reminder, dudeandamonkey.bandcamp.com for the Neon Demon commentary and The Greatest Showman coming soon, and other tracks coming soon as well. If you want more Dude and a Monkey and you want to support the show, dudeandamonkey.bandcamp.com. Take a listen and hopefully you'll have fun. Bye bye.